The contention encompassing Jake Paul and Mike Tyson arrived at new levels when Javon Davis, frequently alluded to as Tank, freely blamed Jake Paul for prearranging his battle with the unbelievable Mike Tyson. Davis didn't keep down, bludgeoning Paul for slighting the game of boxing with what he called coordinated spectacle. Fans of the game, who had proactively started scrutinizing the validness of the battle, viewed Davis' explanations as a mobilizing SOB for responsibility in boxing. The dissatisfaction with Paul's way to deal with boxing, particularly his propensity to take on more established or less serious rivals, turned into the focal point of the talk. Davis's remarks fanned the fire as well as strengthened public interest for Paul to battle a real flow fighter like him. The require a match between Javon Davis and Jake Paul originates from their similitudes in age and cutthroat status, as Davis is thriving and a functioning proficient fighter. Fans and pundits the same contend that a match between the two wouldn't just be fair, yet would likewise give Paul a chance to demonstrate his authenticity as a fighter. Davis's shock featured the difference among him and Paul. Davis, a carefully prepared warrior with a standing to maintain, versus Paul, a web-based entertainment star blamed for decreasing the game to a type of diversion without authenticity. Discussion encompassing the Tyson-Paul battle lastingly affects the game of boxing. The charges of prearranging and the resulting kickback have brought up significant issues about the course of the game and the job of superstar-driven occasions for devotees of conventional boxing. The Tyson battle addressed a depressed spot, with many contending that it sabotaged the trustworthiness of the game. The aftermath from the battle essentially affects Jake Paul's standing, while Paul has constructed a fruitful vocation by utilizing his virtual entertainment. Following the debate encompassing the Tyson battle has featured the restrictions of his methodology. Pundits contend that Paul's dependence on exhibition and contention has come to the detriment of his validity as a boxer. The aftermath from the Tyson-Paul battle was substantial via web-based entertainment, with endless fans communicating disillusionment and outrage. One eminent response came from a Twitter client, I hold WLife, who tweeted, "The Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul battle was the most terrible prearranged battle I have at any point seen. Method for selling your heritage, Mike." This tweet repeated the opinions of many fans who accepted that the battle was arranged and that Mike Tyson, a loved figure in boxing history, had undermined his inheritance for monetary profit. The allegation hit home, as Tyson's vocation had been characterized by his savagery and strength in the ring, and many felt that this battle subverted those accomplishments. Adding to the contention was Jake Paul's mysterious comment. When gotten some information about his trust in overcoming Tyson during a media appearance, Paul was pushed on his strong cases of taking out Tyson, to which he answered, "It's as of now composed." This proclamation was seen by quite a few people as a tacit affirmation of the battle's foreordained result, further filling the doubts of pundits. The expression, "it's as of now composed," immediately gotten forward movement online, with fans taking apart its significance and attracting associations with the gossipy tidbits about an arranged fight. Paul's remark brought up issues about the Tyson battle, as well as enhanced worries about his way to deal with boxing. All in all, his obscure comment, "It's as of now composed," added fuel to the cases that the Tyson battle was foreordained, making a haze of uncertainty around his expectations and validity. Pundits took advantage of on this opportunity to feature Paul's set of experiences of confronting rivals who were either over the hill, like resigned MMA contenders, or people with minimal expert boxing experience. This specific matchmaking was considered by quite a few people to be a method for swelling his records without truly testing himself, subverting the respectability of the game. Customary boxing perfectionists saw Paul's ascent as a side effect of a bigger issue, the prioritization of diversion over rivalry, while VIP boxing occasions carried new crowds to the game. They additionally took a chance with estranging long-lasting fans who esteemed boxing's discipline, unconventionality, and realness. Paul's methodology revolved around display and online entertainment clout, unmistakably diverged from the ethos of boxing legends who procured their notorieties through long periods of exhausting matches against top-level rivals. The debate encompassing Paul featured the developing separation inside boxing, compelling the game to accommodate its customary qualities with the impact of VIP-driven stories. It brought up major problems about how boxing could advance without losing its center personality. The consequence of the battle saw web-based entertainment eject with allegations that the match had been manipulated. Among the most striking responses was a tweet from client Kitty Gia, who composed, "It doesn't matter at all to me what anybody says. He was paid to lose. It was for sure manipulated. It was an exposure stunt for Jake's name." This assertion reverberated with fans who accept that Tyson's exhibition had been purposefully quelled to guarantee Paul's triumph. The possibility that Tyson had consented to lose for supporting Paul's standing got momentum as fans analyzed the battle's key minutes. Pundits highlighted Tyson's evident absence of hostility and readiness to allow Paul to direct the speed of the battle as proof of a foreordained result. The tweet from Kitty Gia epitomized the disappointment of many fans who felt that the battle had been diminished to a simple exposure stunt, as opposed to a real game. In the midst of the warm conversations about Jake Paul's dubious battle with Tyson, considerations started to move toward an expected match among Paul and Gervonta. When gotten some information about the chance of such a battle, Jake Paul's group chief blended further debate by expressing Jant needs Jake. This intense declaration was generally reprimanded by fans and examiners who called attention to that Davis, an enriched, proficient fighter, didn't have anything to demonstrate against Paul, whose boxing qualifications were much of the time questioned. The supervisor articulation appeared to minimize Davis's achievements, while situating Paul as the greater attract the board. This story didn't agree with enthusiasts of Davis, who contended that Paul expected to confront real adversaries like Davis to acquire believability. The director's remark was seen as an endeavor to move the story away from the continuous debate encompassing the Tyson battle and toward a potential blockbuster matchup with divises. The reaction against the Tyson-Paul battle kept on becoming. The general population started to energize behind the possibility of a battle between Jake Paul and Gervonta. Fans contended that such a matchup wouldn't just re-establish a validity to Paul's boxing vocation, yet in addition give a genuinely necessary differentiation to the scene of the Tyson battle. The interest for a Davis-Paul battle was driven by a craving to see Paul tried against a real adversary who was thriving and effectively contending. Davis's public analysis of Paul added to the expectation, with fans anxious to perceive how Paul would answer. The possibility of a battle between the two featured the developing strain between customary boxing and the new rush of powerhouse-driven matches. Many fans saw a potential Davis-Paul battle as a valuable chance to overcome any barrier between these two universes, while others considered it to be an opportunity to uncover Paul's limits as a fighter. Following the debate encompassing the Tyson battle, Gervonta didn't keep down and getting down on Jake Paul for what he saw as an attack against the game of boxing. Davis's test was met with energy from fans who were anxious to see Paul face a genuine rival. The possibility of a battle among Davis and Paul was especially engaging given the likenesses in their ages and the unmistakable difference in their expert boxing records. While Paul had fabricated his standing on battles against more seasoned or less experienced rivals, Davis's record was a demonstration of his expertise and commitment to the game. Fans contended that a match among Davis and Paul would be a genuine trial of Paul's capacities as fighter. Dissimilar to Tyson, who was clearly beyond his excellent, Davis was a functioning contender with a standing for taking on extreme rivals. The possibility of Paul venturing into the ring with an individual of Davis's type invigorated fans who were anxious to see whether Paul could stand his ground against a genuine expert boxer. Contention encompassing the Tyson-Paul battle raised when a Twitter client, Azar Solitary, shared a supposed spilled content of the match. The post expressed the underneath script is getting viral on the web by the name spilled content of Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. This disclosure further energized hypothesis that the battle's result had been foreordained. The supposed content purportedly framed each round's occasions exhaustively, including explicit minutes where Tyson and Paul would seem to battle or acquire the advantage. This degree of accuracy in the supposed content elevates doubts that the battle had been arranged instead of serious fans, and investigators burned through no time analyzing the spilled script, contrasting its subtleties and minutes from the battle. Many brought up spooky similitudes between the content's forecasts and the genuine situation that transpired in the ring, which just extended the conviction that the battle was prearranged. The shock originated from a sensation of treachery, as fans who had tuned in expecting a certifiable challenge felt they had been hoodwinked into watching an organized exhibition. The spilled script turned into a focal piece of proof in the discussion, with cynics utilizing it to contend that the battle had been just an exposure stunt. This powered more extensive worries about straightforwardness and honesty in VIP boxing.